Welcome to the Hamptons weekend vlog. Morning guys. So right now it is Saturday morning. We got in late last night and I woke up. It is 7:22 a.m. I got up at like 6:45 and I drove down here to East Hampton to take a New York Pilates class. So I'm excited. I'm just gonna head in. It's a reformer Pilates class. They have these in the city too. And then I might get like a coffee or something afterwards, see if there's a coffee shop around here. And yeah, just enjoy the morning. Good morning guys. So the Pilates class this morning was great, and then afterwards I just got coffee and then I ended up walking to Cinderella so that I could pick up some flowers for my mother-in-law that we're staying with here. I got her some pink peonies, which I know she likes. And then on the drive back, I just stopped to look at the water real quick, and then I just showered, and as I was getting ready, I just made a little short about this. I think I'm gonna post it on YouTube Shorts, I don't know. I got in the mail right before I came here, so I threw it in my bag, these new Dior Rosy Glow blush sticks. So I love Dior Beauty, and especially anything from their backstage line. So as soon as I saw this, actually it was Jessica DM'd me it on Instagram, was like, oh, we have to try these. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. So I posted about it on my stories, the like countdown, because they were releasing it I think like 2 days ago at midnight. So I bought it then. I actually bought it like in the morning when I woke up, but I got two different shades. So I have 001 pink and then 077 candy. This one is more of like a peachy pink and this one is more of like a pink pink. So I just put, I don't know if you can tell really well in this lighting because it's kind of yellowy, but maybe if I move you in front of the window, this on the left is the pink, and then on the right cheek I put the peachy pink, the candy one. And I really like both. I think that the peachy one looks a little bit more natural, but what I'm gonna do is just mix both on each side. So I'm gonna put a little bit of that one there. These are just so pretty, by the way. I love all of Dior's packaging. On this side, they're like a really natural dewy glow. I always put a little bit of my nose, chin, and forehead. It just, I don't know, I feel like it ends up looking more natural. So then to blend that, to also make it look more natural, I just take my foundation brush and I just go over it to make sure it's not like too much. But yeah, so anyways, that's really cute. I'll leave these linked down below, and I'm gonna head downstairs and get some breakfast. Change into my yellow dress, and we're just walking around town in Sag Harbor doing a little bit of shopping. So we had a fun time walking around town today. We went into some shops, and then of course Love Shack Fancy, my favorite store. And then we got ice cream. And then we came back and I put on a warm cozy sweater because it is a little bit chillier now that it's later in the day. Our plans for tonight are making dinner here at home, and Lyle's parents are having some friends over. So yeah, just really chill, but I'm excited to meet them. So yeah, I'm like debating if I should change. Right now I'm in little shorts, like the white shorts that I packed for like wearing by the pool, because I just feel like at least it looks a little bit more dressed up than being like little linen pants make it look more like full loungewear. But yeah, so I don't know, right now I'm just redoing my makeup. I really like these sticks. Will you see how it goes with blending with the brush? It does well with the brush too. Doesn't have to be fingers. I like doing fingers though, because your fingers actually are warm, so it almost like warms up the product and makes it easier to blend on your face. Maybe if I stick with this to dress it up a little bit, I could do some earrings or something. I am wearing the necklaces already. Okay, I just threw some eyeliner on. I feel like that helps to look a little bit more put together. Just doing some bronzer as well. Okay, I'll go down and see what everyone else is wearing, see what the vibe is, and if I need to change, I'll change. But yeah, that's the plan.
I see it in your eyes. Yeah, I can read the signs. You need to get away. It's time we make a change. Oh, you know you'll always have me. Baby, I will always stay with you. So put your trust in me. We'll work it out, you'll see. If we get in a car and drive someplace far, yeah, we could go for a ride. The two of us, we don't have to stop. Baby, let's go for a ride. You and I, let us run away. We can go where we want. I'll have your back if you'll have mine. You and I wanna leave everything behind. If you wanted to, promise you we will be alright. If it's you and I want you to myself. We can stay in hotels. Just
Good morning, guys. Alright, now Lyle and I are going to a farmer's market. We're in Amagansett, and there's this one, it's really cute. Kind of is more like, yeah, it's like a farm stand. Alright, Lyle and I are going to take a tennis lesson now. We've come to Sport Time in Amagansett. I just wanted to learn. I just feel like it'd be a good thing to know how to do. And it looks fun. I'm probably really bad at it though. I've never played. So that's why we're taking a lesson. But yeah. guys, so time for a little mini house tour. I thought this would be a good time since everybody is asleep. So just starting out in the bathroom, here's the sink where I've been getting ready. And then to the right is just the shower. And then outside to the left, there is a window which just looks out into the backyard, and you can see the pool there. And then, of course, the door and the toilet. And then I am actually going to cut this clip to one later because Lyle was sleeping. But this is the bedroom. This is one of the guest rooms that they have. I just love the wallpaper and the ceiling fan. And there's just something so cozy and bright about this room. And then same thing, it just has a window that looks out onto the backyard. Another little window there, and then I just love the vibes. There's a little closet in there, and yeah, it's just so cozy. And then as we go out the door, it's just gonna cut here again, back to real time. And then there's this like open staircase. To the right here, it kind of overlooks the formal living room. And I love just how there's so many archways in the house. And then, yeah, kind of little balcony here. There's the more formal living room. I just think that it's so nice. This house is like a Spanish style, which you don't really see a lot, especially in the Hamptons, which is more of like a New England style. So this house is just so special. And then coming to the left here, we're back to the open staircase and this hallway. Pretty art. And then in the back here is the master bedroom and a little closet. So yeah, we're not going to go into that. But then just going down the stairs, I love this kind of winding staircase. And then you get this pretty view of the entryway. And then just going down here again, we come into that entryway and you can just see all of the arched doorways. This is the dining room. We've had a lot of holidays spent here and things like that. I love all these doors and pretty windows again. And then there's a little storage closet, and yeah, pretty much just the rest of the dining room. You can tell it's like that Spanish style. Love those doors with the wood. Little step down, it's kind of like a sunken living room. So then we can just kind of see more details here of that living room. I love how tall the doorways and the windows are, and those really high curtains. This just looks back to where I guess the front of the house is. And I just love all the furniture. It really kind of goes with the rest of the house. And then the doors, they're actually building this patio out here, so it's not finished yet, I don't think. And then yeah, just kind of coming back up here again, love those doorways. I just love how they're like etched in the wood. And yeah, then we just kind of come back here. This is honestly where we spend most of the time. Here's the kitchen. And yeah, it's just typical kind of kitchen. And then I love that it has the window right above the sink. And then you kind of come back here to this area. This is where we eat breakfast and kind of just casual meals, things like that. And then orchids, and then there's doors which looks back out onto this kind of patio area where you can sit outside and eat, and there's like a grill and stuff to the left out there. And then this is like the family room where we watch movies and just kind of I don't know, hang out all together. I'd say we hang out in there the most. This house is just so pretty. I just felt like it had to be shared. And then this is just a little bathroom, like a little guest bath, half bath, I guess. And then back here, that doorway all the way in the back, oh, that's the basement down there. that doorway in the back leads to another guest room that has its own bathroom. It has another little extra room in it. And then this is the doorway outside, and I needed to put my shoes on, so there we go, shoes are on. And heading out the door, just wanted to show you guys, this is kind of like the doorway that we come in when we're like coming in from the car. Flowers. That leads back into the entryway. And then this is, I just think it's so beautifully landscaped with the flowers and greenery, more flower boxes. And then this is just another area. We never really sit out here that much, little step down, but I think that it's really pretty, and it leads back into where you can see sort of this beautiful garden, almost artistic setup of the flowers. And yeah, just going back here and then heading down this pathway, which leads out to where all the cars are parked. Here you can see the greenery again. They're always working on those things. I just think it's so pretty. And then, yeah, this is just kind of where all the cars are parked. Not too exciting. And then flipping around here to the back so you can see the view of the house. I just think it's so picturesque. And yeah, little walkway here, the morning sunlight coming in. And yeah, just kind of showing you what it looks like walking up to the house here. There's those doors. And then we're coming around to the side of the house because this leads back to where the pool area is. And so yeah, there's like a little gate here and all this stonework, and they've just done such a beautiful job with the flowers. And then yeah, here's the pool chairs. My mother-in-law actually saw me filming and was like, oh, let me put all the cushions out for you, and let's put some orchids on the table so it looks nice. So that was so sweet of her. And yeah, and then here's their pool, this beautiful tree in the back here and the flower vases. And then here's the view from the back of the house. And then, yeah, just kind of coming around here around the pool, and just so that you can kind of see the backyard and everything. There's me. Hi. And yeah, I just think it's so lovely. I've done a cartwheel on this lawn. And then it kind of comes back up here, coming back around to the end of the mini tour where we are on the patio, and then there's the grill, and yeah, that's the tour. Alright, hi guys. Beautiful little house tour, right? The house is just so pretty, and I just think that it's something that should be shown because it's just such a beautiful, spectacular design, and it's just so lovely out here. But I thought that, so I sat down, I have my bag, finally got to wear my pool outfit, and I have my book. I'm just gonna honestly read for a little bit in a second, but first I actually did some research on some history of the Hamptons that I thought that I would just tell you guys about, because I actually feel like it's kind of interesting to just understand like the background of things and how they came to be how they are today. So yeah, I did some research, so I thought that I would just share that with you guys real quick. So the Hamptons, as we know it today, is sort of a place for, is thought of as these like really wealthy members of society, which actually dates as far back as the 19th century. Originally, this was all farmland for potatoes, And it was historically just really agriculture, fishing, and then eventually the old money elites lived here in mansions. So we have like the Ford family, Rockefeller family, DuPont family, gardeners. It expanded significantly once they built direct rail lines from New York City out here. Lots of the old architecture was actually built to resemble New England, so especially Sag Harbor, which is where we are, and then East Hampton. Southampton is the oldest of all the Hamptons villages. In the 1960s, the Hamptons really underwent a bit of a makeover. Previously, it was a more rural area with a seaside resort, but it went through an artistic change that really attracted a lot of artists, writers, musicians that came out to the Hamptons for inspiration and a break from the city life. Jackson Pollock and William de Kooning, who are expressionist artists, established studios in the Hamptons. Then there was Bob Dylan and the Rolling Stones, music festivals, outdoor concerts that created this sort of hotspot in the Hamptons. In the 1970s, there was another transformation as more wealthy people started to move out here and really created this image of relaxation and luxury. They built more luxurious developments, expensive restaurants, and high-end businesses that really catered to those rich tastes. So then more celebrities, artists, business leaders really started coming out here. And then in the 1980s, even more lavish lifestyles. There were old money families like the Vanderbilts, the Whitneys, the Astors that really continued to establish this Hamptons identity. But also in the 1980s, there was a new wave of individuals who also established a social kind of culture out here. Business people, people in fashion and art. Ralph Lauren also added an influential element to the social scene. More recently, in 2019, the most expensive home in the United States was purchased for $84 million by Ken Griffin, who is a hedge fund person. So that's the history, but then perceptions today. So Southampton is known as the more like old money. That's like the oldest Hampton. It's also the closest to the city, so it's a less of a drive. But yeah, more think like old money, people who are wearing like really expensive outfits that have no logos on them, and you wouldn't even really know that they actually secretly cost a lot. They're just really good quality. And then East Hampton as also some old money, but I think the perception is that it's a little bit more new money, a little bit flashier, show-offy logos, things like that. Sag Harbor is also very nice. I think it's like cute and quaint. Montauk is known as this like place to go out, a very young crowd, kind of fun, social, bar hopping sort of scene out there, and some fun places that the younger, very social crowd likes to go to. So yeah, that's everything that I've gathered. Again, as I've said, I'm definitely no expert on these things. I've just done my research. I've gathered from people who live out here. We've come out here for years with Lyle, and yeah, so anyways, I'm going to do a little bit of reading. Right now I'm reading The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think it's really good so far. I'd say like a third of the way in. So yeah, I'm just going to enjoy the nature and the birds chirping and the sun. hungry, ate breakfast, hung out a little bit, and then right now I've just been packing up and getting ready to go to lunch. We are actually going to go out to lunch. The place is called the American Hotel, and it has a very elegant feel to it. It was built in the 1800s, and yeah, they have like a classic sort of American menu, and apparently some really good drinks. So I am just doing my hair real quick, and I was going to try out for the first time the new beach waiver that I got. Yeah, I didn't bring any of the heat protectants that they gave me, but I'm just going to use this one from Dry Bar. It's the Prep Rally. All right, I'm putting it on the lowest heat setting just because I want to be really careful with this hair. So I just thought I was recording and I realized I was not recording that whole time, but I just did this side of my head and then tried one on this side. So basically, to sum it up, it is easier to use in terms of like you don't have to like hold your arm and twist it around all these places, but you need to make sure that you're just knowing like which side you're turning it. So if I'm here, okay, so see, once I've already done a curl, I feel like I need to almost put it back to start. That way I know which way I'm curling it, because once it's behind you and you're looking in the mirror, it's easy to get turned around. So yeah, there we go. And I was just holding it for 5 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, quick 5 seconds, and that's all that it needs. And then I was saying also that I'll just put this up on the screen for like the YouTube shopping. I'll also link it in the description box as well. And then last thing I was going to show also is that like you don't have to use the twisty clamp. You can just like with any curling iron always just do this if you want to for a piece. Personally, I like doing that because I love the like type of curl that it gives. So you can still do that. When it turns like this, it gives it a specific type of wave, and it's a beachy wave. So if you're going for like a beachy wave look, this is like the perfect, because it like leaves the space in between there. So yeah, really cute. So I'm just gonna keep doing my head and then I'll show you guys the final look. All right, before I comb through it, I'm going to hairspray it. This is the Everyday Flex Medium Hold Hairspray, the little travel size. And just gonna spray some of that. And then just kind of finger combing through, not to mess it up too much. Okay, cute. Yay. All right, so we're gonna go to lunch, and of course I'm gonna take you guys with me. And then yeah, after that we're pretty much just packing up and heading home. But yeah, let's go.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to know.